for Luka. How have you seen the body changes that he's made kind of pay off for him?
Yeah, ever since we got him, he's just been, such a great professional. One of our hardest workers. One thing we really love about him is he sets a great tone for all the other young guys, or a lot of the guys that he's ends up working with on the floor. This summer he really committed to like getting himself in absolute elite shape, and it looks it's only going to help him, react to the speed and stuff out there. So, he's a tremendous player, and when you have a guy like him, you have to play through him. You have to give him the ball. He's a lot of like second or third unit bigs. They kind of run around, roll, rebound, and stuff like that. But when you have a guy this talented offensively, he's got to be the centerpiece of what you're doing. And we love him because he's a great system fit, and he creates a lot of offense for himself and others, just with his decision making. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure to have around, and so it's fun to watch these guys play when they get these opportunities.
Last year he crushed the G League.
Yeah.
Tonight against a non-NBA team, he just
Yeah.
really has his way. How do you look at what he has to do, I guess, going forward so that the NBA minutes come for him?
Yeah. Well, they came for him last year. He's for us. Unfortunately, he's kind of an emergency big, just because he's on a team that's probably got more skilled bigs than anyone else in the league. Just so much depth, but they all kind of help drive our offense. He just has to keep staying patient. We love him because he's just accepts his role, stays ready. Last year he helped us win games. He helped us win quarters. He helped us, when we needed him most. If he does get another opportunity with another team, he's an NBA player. There's no doubt about it in my mind. You just have to commit to using his talents, and it's not everybody wants to play through their bigs anymore. But when you have a guy like him, he's defensively he's going to give some of it back, but offensively he can do so much damage. You're going to try to win the net war there. So.
Chris, before the game, you're talking about Leonard and just all the talent and the rawness. I think probably saw both of those tonight.
Yeah.
As a coach, how do you approach that type of player, and what is the development process, I guess, look like? What are you guys working on with him?
We're working on just again, like I said, pre-game, just trying to firm up like a role and a style of play for him. He's never had anyone kind of connect all the dots for him. He's just always kind of gone out and played, and which is great. I think that's where some of his feel comes from. But you have to kind of rein him in a little bit, or he'll we need him to run, we need him to roll more. We need him to value being in the dunker, and these are things that are going to get him opportunities early in his career before you allow him to like play with the ball and that kind of stuff. But you can see he has some real natural feel with the ball in his hands. You don't always know how it's going to end up, but he's fearless, and we like that. He reminds us a little bit of Vando when Vando was here. Like also kind of ball hawk, better with the ball than you thought. Good feel for the game, that kind of stuff. So, and he shoots it, well. He's got a good foundation, I think, to improve that shot. So I think there's obviously lots to work on there, but he's an exciting young player, and a really good kid, and he's soaking it all up right now. So
seems like sometimes some guys the ball just finds them on the glass. Is he kind of one of those almost magnetic type of rebounders?
Yeah, I think I think he's had more offensive rebounds tonight than defensive rebounds, if I'm not mistaken. As I look at his thing here, yeah, he had 8 offensive. I think the first part about being an good offensive rebounder, he's got to go all the time, and he does. He has just a nose for the ball. He kind of pursues it, gets a lot of 50-50 balls that are in and around his feet. We just desperately need that. Like I thought, if you look at last year, we just weren't a good ball hawk team, 50-50 ball team, but we needed guys that kind of play like that a little bit more. So, but yeah, he's got a nose for the ball. He's got pretty quick hands. He's got real good hands too. So when he gets his hands on it, he has a good chance of coming up with it.
Chris, looking ahead to Thursday, do you anticipate a similar lineup as tonight, or
no? We're back. We're back to full strength. Provided we're all healthy and well. But yeah, we are gonna. It'll look a lot like the New York game, I would imagine. Maybe push the minutes out even a little bit more as we get ready for opening night. So,
have you been pleased with your desire to improve your rebounding this preseason, and do you think you're much more likely to hit the offensive glass rather than go back and transition, or do you think it'll still be kind of a game-by-game mix?
Well, I'm pleased with my desire to rebound more. Still a work in progress for their desire to rebound more. It's been a big point of emphasis. I think the other night, Anthony had 8 rebounds in New York, and he went and got the ball. I think some of this is like a learned skill. Everyone preaches boxing out, all the fundamentals. But, sometimes it's better when you're an athlete to just go get the ball and finding out what that style is. So we've been pleased that we've seen way more attention paid to rebounding. We've gave up a lot of long rebounds traditionally. Our guards got to be way more active in scooping that up. Offensively, we're going to commit to the glass. We had 13 tonight. But we want a bigger presence. We know that, last year I've said it many times. I punted on that after about 10 games because we were getting cooked in transition. We've been preaching to these guys we got to be able to do both and, use our size to our advantage there. So,
Chris, Nix is just an interesting player. He had a pretty good game tonight, but what do you see in, the size and just the handle a little bit?
He's got a lot of game. He's plays under control. He's a really good passer. Shot the ball extremely. He has a nice shot, compact stroke. Really, really liked how he played tonight, and he's been playing like that all camp. It's just been short snippets here and there in practice. So it's really good to watch. But it's got a point guard mentality. You feel really good with the ball in his hands. Defensively, I thought he was in most of the right places too. Our defensive intensity kind of picked up when he went in, just kind of getting into the ball, setting a little tone there. And I really thought Trevor played well too. I thought Trevor just kind of made a lot of gritty plays, which stuff that we need. We just need more of those types of players on our roster. So,
You talked about punting on offensive rebounding at the start of last year. How much do you feel better about the plan you have for this multi-big lineup? And does it feel like you have to have something and stick to it because with Nas in the rotation, there's just no backing out of it?
Everybody, like Mike Tyson said, everyone feels great until they get hit in the face, right? So everyone loves their plan. But we look comfortable. Nas looks comfortable. It doesn't look like it's something we have to pivot away from in any sort of panic. I think the key is if we do, we still have Kyle. We can swing there and play at the 4. Finding the key I think for us is still going to be able to maximize certain combinations on the floor of guys that we know play really well together. I think that's going to be the real kind of key for us as we figure things out. But we're all in. We're committed to being a bigger team. We're lucky to have skilled bigs. They don't. It's not like you have to change our style too much. So I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah.
It's a must, right? Like the commitment. Even if you do get hit in the mouth and it looks bad for a couple games, everybody has to be committed, right? Because it doesn't feel like last year everybody was always committed in the locker room and whatnot. They just seem like there were questions about it. Do you feel like everybody's really bought in?
100%. Yeah, no, for sure. I think everybody's committed. I think this team really enjoys it. Enjoys playing with each other. I think they've really been a pleasure to coach through training camp so far. Rudy took one shot the other night in New York, and there was never a peep about anything. Didn't grumble, didn't give anyone the side eye, wasn't bitchy when he came to the bench. How it played out. He generated a ton of wide open shots with his rolling and his dunker gravity. We got 10 wide open corner threes just as a result of, I would say, 7 or 8 of them because he was on the floor, and it feels like we have a maturity about what we're trying to do this year. So, thanks, guys.